Hi, my name is Wendy and I am the founder of APlusYoga, and this video is about how to open up a yoga studio and things to consider if you do and you want to open up a yoga studio. So first of all, you need to consider the overhead costs. If you're in an urban area, it's usually pretty expensive, and you have to consider how much utilities, insurance, maintenance would cost. Studios often require large, pretty peaceful, well-maintained, clean areas. So that is something that you need to consider if you want to open up a yoga studio. And for your budget, as a general kind of way to think about things, it would be ideal to have 2 years of rent saved up. So that is one overhead cost that you wouldn't have to worry about for the first 2 years after opening. Another thing that you have to keep in mind is that attendance in class can be inconsistent. It fluctuates with seasonality. It fluctuates with school holidays and the weather, people moving towards online or hybrid fitness options. So keep in mind that many clients purchase class packs or memberships, may not use them regularly, and that may lead to unpredictable revenue. So that is something that you need to keep in mind. And the following video will talk about solutions and finding other streams of income besides classes to keep consistency, or creating price options and packages that will give you, the studio owner, more visibility. Another key important point here is staffing and teacher retention. So good teachers are in demand and often work at multiple studios, and they have private clients, and they may have their own online programs, and they will be a big draw to your studio. So you need to find a balance between pay expectations and maintaining the quality staff. That is a delicate balance. Also, the quality and the kinds of classes that are in your studio. It is important to have a framework that is set up for the teachers who come in and teach for you. It is important that you sit in and observe their classes, and as hard as it is, to give them honest, compassionate feedback, because it is your studio. Just letting teachers teach how they feel is best for them is better off in workshops, or if they want to offer retreats and they want to expand on their own style, etc. Your studio needs to have a consistent style and format of teaching. And it is important that you observe and give feedback and structure the different classes according to, so gentle yoga, if it's a gentle yoga class, what does that look like at your studio? Because it may be very different at another studio. There are certain studios who name classes like slow flow, and then it's a really hard class and it doesn't feel like it's a slow class, whereas slow flow implies that it might be easy. So what kind of classes you want to offer and how they are taught to your students in line with your vision for your studio is very important. Is your studio a high intensity studio? Is it a power studio? Is it a tapas, a little bit of everything? Even if it's a little bit of everything, or especially if it's a little bit of everything, Each class name needs to correspond to a format of a class, so that if one teacher goes away on vacation and someone subs that class, they know what kind of format to teach. Another thing to think about when you're opening up a studio is competition. So there is Pilates, there's barre, there's HIIT, there's corporate gyms that offer yoga. There are franchise yoga studios, online platforms. So it is important that you differentiate your studio's brand and make it visible and clear what your brand is and what you're offering. Talking about visibility, marketing and visibility is extremely important, whether it be SEO or social media. There are a lot of free tools now that you can access online to increase your visibility online. Relying on word of mouth, of course, is no longer an option. It's even less an option now in this era than it was before COVID-19. So maintaining visibility, digital visibility online and a presence online is extremely important. When I opened up or started this new initiative, APlusYoga, to help yoga studios, I had to put content online. Can you imagine opening up a business, a studio, whether it be virtual or in person, and there is no digital presence? That is not sustainable in the long term. Also, another big thing that you do need to be careful of, and again, this is experience, like I've been there, is burnout. So often you have people open up a yoga studio. So if you don't have the money for a franchise, which is $400,000 US, around about or more, and you have your own yoga studio, and you're like, well, this is what I want to do. I don't have that budget, but I'm going to do it on my own. You may be or are already a jack of all trades. So you are the one that orders the supplies. You are the one, your human resources. You are the bookkeeper. You are the cleaning person. You are the basically everything, because you're trying to save a little bit of money until your studio is profitable and you can hire someone to do some of those tasks for you. Be very careful, because this can lead to burnout. And the business of yoga often conflicts with the lifestyle and the philosophy of yoga itself, where that may create some emotional or ethical tensions within yourself. Like charging an amount that is fair for the region that you live in, for the budget, for the rent that your area charges. So just to be aware, stay in touch with these videos, because there will be more after this. Also, it is really important to adapt to change. So a couple of examples, offering virtual or hybrid classes is one. Another thing to offer. So for example, if you have a kind of class that is always the same class every single time that people come in, that might be your core or like signature class for your studio. If it's all across the board, people are going to get bored. There may be trends in the yoga/fitness world that your clients want to see on your schedule. So, for example, there is like mandala vinyasa, there's now power yoga, there's mobility yoga, so it's important to stay in touch with the people who are your people and what they're looking for, and that they feel safe to share with you what they enjoy and what they'd like to see more of at your space. So this is it for this video. If it was useful for you, please hit that like button. Also hit the follow button. Both of those are completely free. The reason that APlusYoga was created was because there is such a big difference between franchise studios that have all this data, all this support, all this knowledge, a huge knowledge base. They are expensive because that huge knowledge base is like an insurance policy for their studio to succeed. But there are wonderful smaller boutique studios who could benefit from the support of other studios across the country, across the world, who are perhaps going through the same thing that they are. So, for example, a studio opening up in the suburb of New York City may find wonderful wisdom from a studio that has opened up in a suburb of London. And APlusYoga wants to create a community of studios who can support each other on that journey, which includes and encompasses being able to offer quickly and rapidly yoga teacher training, which is another stream of income. Diversify your stream of income besides just the classes. That's it for this video. Thank you very much for listening in and watching, and I'll see you on the next one.